Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt your legs wobble? Or walked up a flight of stairs and found yourself breathless, wondering when something so simple became so difficult? If this sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not just age catching up with you. It's your body sending a message, a quiet call for help that too many people ignore until it's too late. Over the past 10 years working with older adults, I've seen one truth that never fails. Your legs are often the first part of your body to weaken as you grow older. And when they do, everything else begins to shift: your balance, your confidence, even your independence. But here's the good news. Staying strong doesn't require fancy equipment, expensive treatments, or a personal trainer. What it does require are small, consistent actions, simple daily habits that support the strength, stability, and flexibility of your legs. That's exactly what I'm going to share with you today. 7 powerful habits that I've seen transform lives, time and time again. These habits are grounded in real science and tested through real experience. I've recommended them to countless patients, and now I want to share them with you, so that you too can feel strong, steady, and in control as you age. Don't underestimate what these steps can do. Just a few small changes could be the difference between walking confidently on your own or relying on others for support. You may be tempted to think, my legs are just getting old. It's part of life. But I'm here to tell you, decline is not inevitable. It's preventable, reversible, and it starts with the decisions you make today. So stay with me, because one of the most overlooked habits, habit number 5, might just be the missing link in your routine. In fact, when I introduced it to one of my longtime patients, an 82-year-old woman who once feared every step, she said to me, "I feel like I've got my legs back." That's the power of doing the right things consistently. If you're watching and any of this resonates with you, please take a second right now to give this video a like, and leave a comment below when you hear the tip that surprises you the most, especially if it's habit number 5. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a single video that could help you stay strong and independent. Your support doesn't just help this channel, it helps us reach more seniors who truly need this knowledge to live better. Now, you might be wondering what exactly we're going to cover in this video. By the end, you'll learn how to maintain and regain leg strength, even if you haven't exercised in years. You'll discover the one nutrient that many seniors unknowingly lack, the one that's draining their muscle power day by day. You'll get practical tips on what to eat, what to avoid, and how to structure your daily routine to prevent pain, improve circulation, and boost your energy. But more importantly, you'll learn why your legs aren't just about mobility. They're about dignity. They're about having the freedom to move, to go where you want, and to live life on your own terms. This video was created for people like you, who want to stay strong, stay independent, and take control of their health without guesswork or gimmicks. So let's dive in. Because habit number 1 might seem simple on the surface, but it's the foundation for everything that follows. Habit 1. Regular foot inspection. What if I told you that the most dangerous foot problems in old age are the ones you can't feel? That your feet could be silently signaling danger, and you wouldn't even know it until it's too late? I've seen it happen far too often. A senior walks into my clinic complaining of a little soreness, and when we check, there's an open wound they hadn't noticed. Why? Because as we age, our feet begin to lose their sensitivity. The nerves grow quieter. The warning signs become whispers. And unless you're looking closely, you'll miss them. That's why habit number 1 is deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful. Inspect your feet every single day. Now, I get it. This doesn't sound exciting. It's not glamorous. But let me be absolutely clear. I've had patients avoid surgeries, hospitalizations, even amputations, simply because they got into the habit of checking their feet. Just 60 seconds a day can save you months of pain or worse. You see, with age, the skin on our feet becomes thinner and more fragile. Our circulation slows. Our nerve endings don't send the same sharp signals they used to. A small cut? You may not feel it. A blister? It might look innocent but can become infected in days. And if you have diabetes, vascular disease, or reduced mobility, those risks multiply. Here's what I recommend as part of your daily check. Sit down in a well-lit area and look at both feet, including the soles and between your toes. Use a handheld mirror if needed, or better yet, place a mirror on the floor and hover your foot above it. What are you looking for? Redness, swelling, bruises, dry patches, blisters, or cuts? Look for anything that wasn't there the day before. Are your toenails growing straight? Are there signs of fungus, discoloration, thickened nails, unusual smells? These might seem like small issues, but they can escalate fast. Especially if circulation is poor, Even a minor infection can spread quickly and threaten your overall health. And don't ignore color changes. Are your feet paler than usual? A bluish or purplish tint might indicate poor oxygen flow. Are they unusually warm, swollen, or tender to the touch? That could signal inflammation or an early infection. Trust me, these are the kinds of early signs that most people overlook until they can't anymore. But here's where it gets emotional for me, because I've watched people suffer from things that could have been caught early. I once had a patient, Mr. Leonard, who ignored a small dark spot on his heel. By the time he mentioned it, it had ulcerated, and he ended up losing 2 toes. The worst part? It was preventable. All he needed was awareness. And now, I share his story with permission, so others won't make the same mistake. Daily foot inspection is not just a health habit, it's a statement of self-respect. It says, I value my independence. I protect my future. And I can't emphasize enough how empowering that mindset can be, especially as you age. If mobility is freedom, then healthy feet are your vehicle. And just like a car, your feet deserve regular maintenance, even if they're not making noise. That silence? It can be deceptive. Now, you might be wondering, what if you see something unusual? My advice is simple. Don't wait. Take a photo, monitor it for a day or 2, and if it worsens or doesn't improve, reach out to a podiatrist. When in doubt, get it checked out. A timely response can make all the difference. If this habit sounds too small to matter, I want you to remember this. Prevention is quiet. Regret is loud. And in the world of aging well, it's often the quiet, consistent actions that protect our most valuable assets, our mobility, our dignity, and our peace of mind. So don't dismiss this habit. Embrace it. Make it part of your morning or bedtime routine. Pair it with brushing your teeth or washing your face. Just 60 seconds of attention can prevent months of suffering and give you the peace of mind you deserve. Now that you know what to look for, let's talk about the next habit, a habit that not only protects your feet, but makes them feel better almost instantly. It's something most people overlook entirely, yet it's one of the most soothing and healing rituals you can do daily. Habit 2. Moisturize your feet. What if the cracks on your feet weren't just dry skin, but open doors for infection? What if something as simple as skipping lotion could lead to pain, ulcers, or even hospitalization? Most people underestimate the power of hydration, especially when it comes to their feet. But I've seen time and again that the simple act of moisturizing daily can make the difference between strong, healthy feet and feet that ache, crack, and break down far too soon. As we age, our skin naturally becomes thinner, drier, and less capable of holding moisture. And nowhere is that more obvious and more dangerous than on the feet. You see, your feet are under constant pressure. They bear your full body weight every day. They're exposed to heat, friction, dryness, and sometimes neglect. Without proper care, the skin begins to crack. Those cracks? They're not just cosmetic. They're vulnerable entry points for bacteria, fungus, and infection. In my 10-plus years working with seniors, one of the most common but overlooked causes of foot pain I see is simply this: dry, damaged skin that was never given a chance to heal. And in many cases, it starts with something preventable: lack of daily moisture. I remember a patient named Grace, age 76. She came in with what she thought were just dry heels. What we found were deep fissures, cracks so dry and inflamed they had become open wounds. She hadn't been moisturizing because, in her words, I didn't think it mattered that much. That's the belief I want to challenge today, because it does matter. Moisturizing your feet daily isn't just about appearance, it's a powerful form of protection. When you apply a rich, nourishing lotion or cream, you're not just softening the surface, you're creating a barrier. This barrier locks in hydration, strengthens your skin, and protects against the daily wear and tear that comes with aging. But it's not just about slathering on any lotion and calling it a day. The how matters just as much as the what. Here's my professional advice. Choose a thick, emollient-rich foot cream, preferably one that contains urea, shea butter, or glycerin. These ingredients help draw moisture into the skin and lock it in. Apply the cream generously to the tops, soles, and heels of your feet, massaging gently in circular motions. But, and this is crucial, avoid putting lotion between your toes. Why? Because excess moisture between the toes can create the perfect breeding ground for fungal infections like athlete's foot. That's the balance we need as we age: moisture where it heals, dryness where it protects. If bending down is a challenge, use a long-handled lotion applicator or sit in a comfortable position where you can easily access your feet. And try pairing this habit with something you already do, like brushing your teeth before bed. Consistency is everything. Now let's talk about how it feels. Because yes, there are health benefits, but there's also comfort. There's nothing quite like the sensation of smooth, supple skin where roughness used to be. It's a small, daily act of care that can give you a greater sense of well-being. That sense of, my feet feel better today, it adds up. For many of my older patients, this one habit has helped prevent infections, reduce heel pain, and even improve sleep because painful cracks or itchy skin weren't keeping them up at night anymore. It may sound small, but trust me, small steps become powerful rituals. Moisturizing isn't vanity. It's protection. It's prevention. And most importantly, it's self-respect. So if you haven't already, I want you to look at your feet tonight. Really look. Ask yourself, do they feel nourished or neglected? And then make the commitment to change that. Because when you take care of your feet, they take care of you. Now that we protected the outside of your feet, let's move deeper to the very foundation that supports every step you take, your shoes. In the next section, I'll show you how the wrong footwear can silently destroy your feet and how the right pair can save them. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Habit 3. Wear proper footwear. Have you ever blamed your aching knees, sore heels, or back pain on aging without realizing your shoes might be the real culprit? What you put on your feet could be either your biggest protector or the silent destroyer of your mobility. I've had patients come to me thinking they needed surgery or injections, only to discover the problem wasn't their joints, but their footwear. And that's why habit number 3 is one of the most underrated, yet powerful changes you can make. Wear the right shoes. Not fancy shoes. Not expensive shoes. The right shoes for your feet, your age, and your future. As we grow older, the structure of our feet changes. The fat pads on the soles, the very cushions that once softened every step, begin to thin. Arches can flatten, and joints can become stiffer. Add in decades of wear and tear, and suddenly, the shoes you've worn for years no longer fit the way your feet need them to. And here's the part that many people overlook. When your shoes don't support your feet properly, the pain doesn't just stay at your feet. It travels. Ankles, knees, hips, and lower back all start absorbing that impact. That misalignment. That imbalance. I remember one client, James, 74 years old, who came in limping. He'd been diagnosed with plantar fasciitis and osteoarthritis. But after a simple footwear assessment, we realized he'd been wearing old, worn-down loafers with zero arch support. Within 2 weeks of switching to a pair of supportive, cushioned walking shoes, his pain cut in half. Not because his condition changed, but because his foundation finally supported him. So let's get specific. What does proper footwear mean? First, prioritize a wide toe box. Many seniors wear shoes that are too tight in the front, forcing the toes to curl or overlap. This can lead to bunions, hammer toes, corns, and even nerve pain. Your toes need room to spread naturally, especially when walking or standing for long periods. Second, pay attention to arch support. Whether you have high arches, flat feet, or neutral alignment, good shoes should provide structured support to distribute your body weight evenly. Without that, the pressure loads unevenly, leading to fatigue, pain, and even collapsed arches over time. Third, don't forget cushioning. Remember, your foot pads aren't what they used to be. Shoes that absorb shock, particularly at the heel and forefoot, can significantly reduce pain and make walking feel lighter. Imagine walking on soft ground instead of concrete. That's the difference proper cushioning makes. Now, if you're dealing with chronic conditions like arthritis, bunions, neuropathy, or diabetes, consider custom orthotics or medically designed insoles. I've seen them work wonders, realigning posture, correcting gait issues, and minimizing pain. They may seem like small additions, but they can change the way you move. And here's a tip many people miss. Replace your shoes regularly. Even the best walking shoes wear out. After 300 to 500 miles of use, their support diminishes, leaving your feet vulnerable. If the soles look uneven, the inside feels flat, or you notice more soreness after walking, it's time for a new pair. Wearing the right footwear isn't just about comfort, it's about protection. About giving your body a stable, aligned base to move from. Think of your shoes as tires on a car. Even the best engine won't run smoothly on worn-out tires. And if this still feels like a minor detail, ask yourself this. Would you rather invest in better shoes now, or risk falls, joint pain, and surgeries later? Your feet carry you through every single day. Isn't it time you carried them with care? Take a look at your current shoes tonight. Are they supporting you, or silently sabotaging your steps? If you're not sure, bring them with you to your next checkup and ask your doctor or podiatrist for input. It could be the simplest form of prevention you ever take. Now that you've learned how the right shoes protect your structure, we're going to talk about something equally important, your weight. In the next section, I'll show you how every extra pound affects your feet more than you think, and how losing even a little can make your steps feel 10 years younger. Trust me, this might be one of the most empowering things you hear today. Habit 4. Maintain a healthy weight. What if every extra pound you carry puts 4 times that pressure on your feet? That means just 10 extra pounds can feel like 40, and your legs and joints feel every bit of it. Most people think of weight as just a number on a scale. But when it comes to your legs, knees, and feet, your weight is a force, one that either works with you or against you. And that's why habit number 4 is so critical to strong, pain-free legs as you age, maintaining a healthy weight. Not for vanity, not for size, but for strength, for function, for freedom. Let me paint you a picture. Your legs are your personal support system. They're built to carry you. But every pound of excess weight adds extra strain to the muscles, bones, joints, tendons, and ligaments that hold you upright. Over time, this leads to fatigue, inflammation, instability, and pain, especially in the knees, ankles, and feet. In fact, studies show that being overweight increases your risk of developing osteoarthritis, plantar fasciitis, lower back pain, and even varicose veins. These aren't just inconveniences. They can be debilitating. I've worked with seniors who were once energetic and independent, but over the years, their weight slowly chipped away at their mobility until even walking around the house became exhausting. But here's the part one want you to hold on to. Even small changes can create big impact. Losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can significantly reduce the load on your joints, ease chronic pain, and improve your balance. For example, if you weigh 180 pounds, dropping just 9 to 18 pounds can feel like your legs are 10 years younger. And no, you don't need to become a fitness fanatic to get there. It starts with realistic, sustainable changes. First, let's talk about movement. Low-impact exercises like walking, swimming, cycling, or chair yoga are incredibly joint-friendly and help burn calories, build muscle, and boost circulation. Even 15 to 20 minutes a day can improve how your legs feel and function. Second, focus on nutrient-dense foods. Fuel your body with what it needs: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, healthy fats, and lots of water. Cut back on processed sugars, deep-fried foods, and salty snacks that cause bloating and inflammation. And here's a tip I give many of my patients. Don't think diet. Think daily decision. Because health isn't built in one big leap, it's built in hundreds of small choices made over time. I once worked with a gentleman named Alan. He was 67, loved pastries, hated exercise, and swore he'd never lose weight. But after developing knee pain that made it hard to stand, he decided to try walking for 10 minutes each morning. 2 months later, he'd lost 7 pounds, and more importantly, he could walk to the park without sitting down. He told me, "I didn't realize how much weight was dragging me down until I started feeling light again." That's the feeling I want you to experience. Light, capable, empowered. Because this isn't just about numbers or pants size. This is about taking pressure off your legs, extending your independence, and reclaiming your energy. Still not sure if this habit is worth your time? Ask your knees. Ask your ankles. Ask your feet how they feel after standing for 30 minutes. They'll give you the answer. Maintaining a healthy weight isn't about chasing perfection. It's about preserving the legs you need to live the life you love. And remember, your legs carry you, so why not carry them back with less weight to bear? If you've been feeling frustrated with fatigue, joint pain, or slow recovery, start small. Cut out soda for a week. Add an extra walk around the block. Drink more water. You'll be surprised how quickly your legs respond when they're given a break. Now that we've lightened the load from the inside out, let's focus on how to keep your legs active, flexible, and strong. In the next section, we'll talk about one of the most powerful habits you can form: movement. And no, it doesn't mean hours at the gym. I'll show you simple ways to stretch, strengthen, and improve your mobility, no matter your age or ability. Habit 5. Stay active and stretch. What if the stiffness in your legs isn't just old age, but your body begging you to move? What if your joints are quietly pleading, "Don't let us freeze up"? Far too many people believe they have to slow down as they get older, when in truth, it's the slowing down that accelerates the decline. That's why habit number 5 is one of the most powerful ways to protect your strength and mobility. Stay active and stretch every day. And no, this isn't about becoming a gym rat or doing painful exercises. It's about gentle, intentional movement designed for your body, your age, and your lifestyle. You see, when we stay sedentary for too long, muscles tighten, joints stiffen, and circulation slows. Think of a car engine that hasn't run in months. Try to start it, and it sputters. But if you keep it moving a little each day, it stays healthy and responsive. Your body is the same. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of movement each day can make a dramatic difference in how your legs feel. Walking is one of the best ways to keep your legs strong and your joints lubricated. And it doesn't have to be far, just around your home, down the hall, or even marching in place during TV commercials. Pair that with simple stretches like seated hamstring extensions or gentle calf stretches against a wall, and you'll feel your flexibility and balance return day by day. Don't forget your ankles either. Slow ankle circles can improve circulation and reduce swelling, especially if you sit for long periods. I always tell my patients, motion is lotion. The more you move, the more your body thanks you. That movement doesn't just keep your legs strong, it keeps your spirit lifted too. I remember one patient, Diane, who had stopped walking during the winter months. After just 3 months of being inactive, she developed stiffness in her hips and knees and had to start using a cane. But with just a few weeks of gentle stretching and short walks around her garden, she was back on her feet, literally. I thought I was just getting old, she told me, but I was just getting stiff. That story says it all. The difference between decline and vitality often comes down to movement, or the lack of it. So here's my advice. Build movement into your daily routine. Stretch while waiting for the kettle to boil. Do light toe raises while brushing your teeth. Walk during commercial breaks. Add gentle bedtime stretches to relax your body and ease nighttime cramping. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Because your legs were made to move, not to be still. And every small action you take today builds a stronger, steadier tomorrow. So don't wait for your body to send louder signals. Listen now. Move now. And give your legs the daily gift of mobility. And since we're talking about prevention, strength, and staying on your feet, there's one habit most people never think about, but it could make or break your leg health. In the next section, we're going to talk about something that seems simple on the surface, foot hygiene. But the truth is, the way you care for your feet each day could mean the difference between staying active or struggling with infections, irritation, and setbacks you didn't see coming. Habit 6. Good foot hygiene. When was the last time you really looked at your feet, not just glanced at them, but truly checked in? The truth is, our feet do a lot of work, quietly carrying us through life, and yet they're often the most neglected part of the body. What if I told you that skipping foot hygiene, something that takes just a few minutes a day, could lead to infections, ulcers, or even long-term mobility issues, especially as you age? That's why habit number 6 is so essential for strong, healthy legs in old age, practicing proper foot hygiene every single day. Clean feet aren't just about feeling fresh, they're about prevention, protection, and preserving your independence. As we get older, our skin becomes thinner and more vulnerable. Circulation may not be as strong. Nerve endings may not be as sensitive. That means small irritations, like a bit of moisture between your toes or a tiny cut, can quickly spiral into something bigger. In my practice, I've seen too many cases where something that could have been prevented with basic hygiene turned into an infection that took weeks, even months, to heal. So here's what I recommend, not just as a health educator, but as someone who truly cares about the freedom your feet provide you. First, make it a habit to wash your feet daily, not just during showers, but with real intention. Use warm water and a mild soap that doesn't strip the natural oils from your skin. Take a few extra seconds to clean between your toes, gently but thoroughly. That space is where moisture loves to hide, and unfortunately, it's also where fungal infections like athlete's foot love to grow. After washing, the drying step is just as important, if not more. Always use a clean, dry towel and pay special attention to the areas between your toes. Any dampness left behind becomes an invitation for bacteria and fungus. I always tell my patients, dry skin is healthy skin, at least when it comes to those hard-to-reach places. Once your feet are clean and dry, it's time to take a quick look. Scan for any redness, cracks, swelling, or changes in color. Do your toenails look healthy? Are they growing straight? Long or uneven nails can become ingrown or cause small cuts, especially dangerous if you have diabetes or poor circulation. When trimming your toenails, cut them straight across and not too short. Avoid rounding the corners, as this often leads to painful ingrown nails. If reaching your feet is difficult, ask a caregiver for help or schedule regular appointments with a podiatrist, because this isn't vanity, it's vital care. And here's a bonus tip I give all my older patients. Don't walk barefoot indoors, especially on hard surfaces. Even small injuries to the feet, stubbed toes, scraped soles, or splinters, can be a big deal if your skin is fragile or your healing process is slow. Soft, breathable socks and supportive slippers can go a long way in keeping your feet safe between hygiene routines. I once worked with a patient named Helen who was incredibly active in her 70s, loved gardening, walking, and staying independent. One summer, she developed a small blister from walking barefoot on her deck. She ignored it, thinking it would heal on its own. A week later, it was infected. 2 weeks later, she was hospitalized with cellulitis. Thankfully, she recovered, but that experience changed her mindset forever. She told me, "I never thought a blister could do that to me, and I never forgot that lesson either." When you care for your feet, you're not just preventing discomfort, you're protecting everything that depends on them. Your ability to walk, to stand, to stay active and engaged in life. Hygiene, in this context, isn't just about being clean. It's a daily act of respect for the part of your body that connects you to the world. So tonight, as you get ready for bed, add foot care to your evening ritual. It takes just 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes could spare you weeks of pain. And now that you know how to protect your feet from the outside, let's talk about the final and perhaps most overlooked habit: partnering with a professional. Because there are things only a trained eye can catch, and habit 7 is all about the power of prevention through regular check-ins with a foot specialist who can help you stay one step ahead. Habit 7. See a podiatrist regularly. What if the most dangerous foot problem you'll ever face is the one you can't feel? What if the pain-free foot you're trusting today is quietly hiding damage that could take away your mobility tomorrow? That's the hidden danger I've seen too many times. And that's why habit number 7 may be the most important of all. See a podiatrist regularly. Because even the healthiest-looking feet can harbor silent issues that only a trained specialist can detect. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If my feet don't hurt, why see a foot doctor? But here's the truth. By the time your feet hurt, the problem may already be serious. And in older adults, especially those with diabetes, circulation issues, or nerve damage, that delay can mean the difference between a quick solution and a long recovery. I've worked with seniors who were active, independent, and thriving, until one missed appointment led to a misdiagnosis. A small corn that became infected, a toenail issue that turned into cellulitis, a minor tingling that turned out to be nerve damage. These aren't scare tactics. They're real stories from real people who wished they'd gone sooner. A podiatrist is not just someone who treats toenails and bunions. They are trained specialists who focus exclusively on the health of your feet, ankles, and lower legs. They can detect early signs of conditions you might not notice on your own, like peripheral neuropathy, fungal infections, structural imbalances, or poor circulation. These issues may start quietly, but can progress rapidly without proper intervention. When you see a podiatrist, they don't just look at your feet. They assess your gait, your balance, your skin health, your nail growth, and even the way your shoes are wearing down. These are subtle clues that point to deeper problems, clues that a general checkup may overlook. If you have diabetes, these visits are even more essential. Diabetic neuropathy can dull the sensation in your feet, meaning you might not feel an injury until it's already infected. A podiatrist can help monitor, treat, and guide you through specialized foot care that reduces risk and improves long-term outcomes. I once worked with a gentleman named Robert. He was 79, still played golf twice a week, and felt completely fine. But during a routine foot screening, we noticed a slight discoloration on one toe. He hadn't even seen it. It turned out to be the start of a circulatory issue that, untreated, could have led to tissue death. Because we caught it early, we avoided serious complications, and Robert didn't miss a single game. This is the power of proactive care. Regular visits aren't just about solving current problems. They're about preventing future ones. And they can be life-changing. If you haven't seen a podiatrist recently, now is the time. Don't wait until something hurts. Instead, build it into your routine, just like dental checkups or vision screenings. Your feet deserve that same level of care because they carry you through every step of your life. Even one appointment a year can make a huge difference. And if you have ongoing conditions, diabetes, arthritis, or history of foot problems, you may need to go more often. The goal isn't just to fix what's broken. It's to protect what's working, so you can keep moving confidently, independently, and pain-free. And if you feel nervous or unsure about going, remember this. A podiatrist is your partner, not your judge. Their goal is to help you stay strong, stable, and safe, so you can live the life you want without fear of falling, limping, or slowing down. So now that we've completed all 7 habits, let's take a moment to reflect. These aren't just tips, they're tools. Small, simple actions that, done consistently, can completely transform the way your legs feel and function as you age. From inspecting your feet each day, to moisturizing and wearing the right shoes, from staying active and watching your weight, to keeping your feet clean and checking in with a professional. These habits work together like gears in a well-oiled machine. Strong legs aren't just built in the gym, they're built in the details. And today, you've learned exactly what those details are. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one habit and start today. Then add another next week, and another the week after. You don't have to do it all at once, but you do have to begin. Because every strong step starts with one small decision. As we come to the end of this video, I want to take a moment to speak to you not just as a health professional, but as someone who truly believes in your ability to thrive at any age. If you've made it this far, I hope you've realized something important. You are not powerless against aging. You are not destined to become weaker, slower, or less independent simply because of your birthday. Your legs, the very foundation of your movement, your confidence, and your freedom, can stay strong, steady, and full of life. But not by accident, not by waiting, only through choice, care, and consistent action. And the beauty of everything we've talked about today is this. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. All you need are a few small habits, done with heart, done with intention, and done daily. Maybe today is the first time you've truly thought about the health of your legs. That's okay. It's never too late to start doing something right. Every step you take from this moment forward can be a step towards strength, stability, and self-respect. Let's quickly revisit what you've learned in this journey. You've discovered how a simple daily foot inspection can catch problems early, before they escalate. You've learned why moisturizing isn't about vanity, but about healing and prevention. You now understand how wearing the right shoes protects not just your feet, but your knees, your hips, and your back. We talked about how maintaining a healthy weight lightens the load on every joint in your body. We explored how stretching and staying active help preserve your strength and flexibility. You saw the power of basic foot hygiene in preventing infections and discomfort. And finally, we ended with the most overlooked yet essential habit, seeing a podiatrist regularly, because true prevention takes both awareness and partnership. If there's one message I hope you walk away with, it's this: your legs are worth fighting for. They are not just tools for walking. They are your link to independence, to joy, to the world around you. So here's what I invite you to do right now. YW hit the like button if you found even one piece of this video helpful. YW subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more simple, life-changing tips like these. YW and most importantly, leave a comment below. Tell me, which habit are you going to start with? What has your journey with leg health been like? What's one thing you wish you knew earlier? Because when you share your story, you inspire someone else. You remind them they're not alone. And that's how we build a community of strength, one step, one voice, one action at a time. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, know this: you are not done yet. Your legs are still capable. Your body still responds. And your future is still full of possibility. So stand tall, step forward, and let every habit you've learned today become a part of the stronger, more vibrant version of you. Thank you for spending this time with me. It means more than you know. And until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and never stop moving forward.